Tonight on CTV News at 5, questions about a suspicious house fire in Kitchener being investigated as arson as a 25-year-old remains missing tonight. Plus, a woman fatally shot at a Brampton Plaza is being remembered as the man wanted for her murder and the abduction of their child was killed in a police-involved shooting early this morning. And marking Menopause Awareness Month, the supports and highlighting everyday choices to help women. CTV News at 5 starts right now. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here with us. A suspicious house fire over the weekend in Kitchener is now being treated as arson and a missing person case. Waterloo Regional Police say emergency services responded to the home on Major Street with the back unit engulfed in flames. Investigators have not been able to find the 25-year-old resident who lived in that unit. Police released photos of the resident. This is Eli Wood. Investigators believe there are suspicious circumstances surrounding their disappearance and would like to check on their well-being. Wood is described as 4'10", between 85 and 95 pounds, and has tattoos on both arms. The hunt for a man wanted in a fatal shooting and child abduction in Brampton has come to an end. He was killed in a police-involved shooting early this morning. The SIU has now launched an investigation. The 38-year-old was wanted in the murder of a woman in Brampton and the abduction of his 1-year-old daughter. It's alleged Anthony DeShepper shot and killed the mother at a shopping plaza yesterday afternoon. Police say the child is safe. Officers found DeShepper at a gas station early this morning. Police say there was an interaction and the suspect was pronounced dead. No officers were hurt.
What precipitated that shooting is basically what the SIU is investigating, so that's why we're talking to any witnesses and trying to collect any video evidence. There was a firearm that was recovered at the scene that belonged to the male individual, but as far as what happened prior to the police firing the weapon, that's what we are investigating right now.
Meantime, a memorial has been gathering at the shopping plaza, the scene where the woman was fatally shot, allegedly by DeShepper. The family of the victim identifying her as 29-year-old Savannah Culla, a mother of 4, 3 boys and a baby girl who was the subject of yesterday's Amber Alert. Savannah's family reeling of their loss and say they will be doing what they can to support her children. When every second counts, how drivers respond to sirens can make all the difference. Let's go to CTV's Tony Grace live in studio for a look at some of our stories our news team is working on this hour. Hi, Tony.
Leanne, good afternoon. Emergency crews in Waterloo Region say some drivers still aren't reacting quickly enough to flashing lights, and that's something that can slow down responses to critical calls. Paramedics aim to reach life-threatening emergencies in less than 6 minutes and fire crews in about 5, but they say last-minute pullovers or drivers stopping in the wrong place can cost precious time. Local police, fire, and paramedics all reminding people to slow down, signal, and pull to the right.
Failing to pull to the right to allow an emergency vehicle to pass is subject to a Highway Traffic Act ticket of approximately $490 and 3 demerit points on your license. But every second counts in these situations, and what we look for is for the cooperation of the driving public to help make way for those vehicles.
CTV's Hannah Schmidt will hear more from emergency responders coming up at 6. Also coming up, new waste collection carts officially getting rolled out in Waterloo Region. Homes on the northern and southern outskirts of the region can expect to see new bins at the end of their driveways this week. But they're not supposed to be used until March, once the new waste collection program kicks off. In the meantime, the region says residents should store the carts and continue using their current waste bins and bags.
If residents do use it early, it will not be collected because of how the carts are collected with an automated arm that hugs the carts. It cannot be collected in our current system. So we just ask residents not to use them and then just to wait until March.
And again, that rollout just starting this week for some parts of the region. CTV's Alexandra Hollick will have more on when the new carts could be coming to your driveway and more details on the program coming up at 6. And we have some developing news to bring you late this afternoon. We have just learned that an arrest has been made now in connection with a shooting that happened last November in Cambridge. So we'll bring you all the latest details on that and the rest of the day's news coming up at 6. For now, Leanne, back over to you.
Okay, Tony, thanks very much. And we'll turn to the forecast with Alex Pinto. It felt like a November day out there today. I want to say dreary, cold, the colors are popping. Not a pleasant day out there.
No, and still quite cloudy too. And we're definitely getting our fair share of wet weather this week. That's for sure. I mean, the good news, we don't have to, I don't have to water the mums that I still have alive in the back,
Hey,
which
look
is
at you
great.
keeping them alive.
Don't have much of green thumb, so this is the win. But yes, this is what we're dealing with right now. So we're seeing quite a bit of active weather across much of southern, southwestern Ontario, even towards the east. And if you may have noticed last night too, rain was coming down quite heavy at times. You may have even heard some rumbles of thunder, which, yeah, we don't really get to hear much of in the fall. Temperature-wise, we are dropping down 8 degrees. It is right now for us here in Kitchener, Waterloo. Slightly warmer if you are by the water. In Goderich, 10.7 if you're in the city of London. So we're definitely noticing those temperatures starting to drop. And as we take a live look outside, the fall colors looking a little wet this hour in Kitchener, but it is beautiful to see how vibrant they are and just really popping.
Yeah, I love it. We've been talking about that all week.
Yes.
Okay, we'll take a break and tell you what you need to know. Get into the spooky spirit in the festival city. Check out the skeletons of Vivian Line in Stratford. This year, all donations up to $40,000 will be matched by an anonymous donor. In 2024, more than $45,000 was raised for Operation Smile Canada. The stage is set for the World Series. Game 1 between the Jays and Dodgers goes Friday at the Rogers Centre. Today we're hearing from a former coach of Jays slugger, George Springer. Robert Dowling coached him when he was just a young teen. Here's his reaction to the big Game 7.
I just get excited when good things happen to good people. And I also know how hard he's worked and how much he wants it, for the city of Toronto, which is a place that he's really connected with. He loves being there. He's told me many times how much of a joy it is to play in front of the Toronto fans and just the great vibe and energy and the support that he has been given and that the team has given. And so just for him, I was just super excited. And we will continue to be excited as they take on the Dodgers.
Okay, great stuff. Game 1 of the World Series in Toronto, 8 o'clock Friday night. Fans, of course, excited to see the Jays taking on the reigning champion LA Dodgers, but tickets have proven to be a challenge to come by. Some are going for eye-watering prices and being resold for much higher than face value. A Blue Jays fan from Ayr says when potential Game 7 tickets went live for standing room only, tickets were priced at $345. Well, then he logged in within 60 seconds of it opening, but says the tickets quickly sold out. He says verified resellers soon had them on Ticketmaster for over $1,200. While he says he's fine if another fan gets to go to the game over him, he says it's not fair. Tickets are up for resale for more than double the original price.
I think, like a lot of fans, I'm frustrated that resale markets are where you can only get tickets, it seems, for these days, especially when it comes to Canadian events or concerts. And it's not fair that people are able to just profit off of the fandom that we have for our sports teams and our bands.
In the next hour, Colton Weens will have more on some changes Ticketmaster has announced and remarks made by the Premier today targeting ticket gouging. With the Jays about to play in the Fall Classic, the Maple Leafs and Raptors are drawing up a new game plan, changing start times to accommodate fans. The Jays will host the opening 2 games of the World Series, 8 o'clock Friday and Saturday as well. So the Raptors and Leafs have bumped up tip-off and puck drop times to give fans a chance to catch the final crucial innings of the baseball games. The Buds and Raps will also have earlier starts next week. Okay, stay with us. We have your full forecast and more news coming up after a quick break. But before you go, here's what you need to know. The University of Waterloo Gem and Mineral Show is happening this weekend. Head over to the Earth Sciences Museum Friday and Saturday to check out gems, minerals, fossils, and more. Admission is free.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Middle of the week, happy hump day, rainy, dreary, cold. It's the end of October.
And if we're going to see wet weather like we've been seeing all week, I'd rather have it maybe during the week, because the weekend at this point looking pretty nice.
Okay, we're not going to complain then.
No, we'll get into that in just a moment, though. But as we take a live look from downtown Kitchener this afternoon, we are still noticing some cloud cover out there and rain quite heavy at times. I don't know if you heard it, Leanne, just outside of our newsroom. It was coming down.
Really was.
Multiple times throughout the day. So depending on where you are joining us from, you may have also noticed something similar this afternoon. And even last night, pretty strong winds, again, depending on where you might be. And that rain also coming down quite heavy, and then it pretty much stopped after about 10 minutes or so. So we are just getting a little bit of everything in that sense. But the fall leaves looking quite beautiful out there. And I guess the good news, you do not have to water your plants over the next couple of days, hopefully. So getting into the rest of the evening, we could see right now a little bit of a break, as we noticed from our live shot there, from the wet weather. But as we get into the overnight, this is when we could see it start to develop once again. So on and off over the next few days. So we're going to be getting some breaks in between. Hopefully a little bit of that sun is expected to peek through. But then with that, some more showers, potentially heavy at time. And not just for us here in Waterloo Region, Hamilton, Brantford, Sarnia, even further south, Chatham, Kenton, Windsor, also expected to get quite a bit of rain as well. And in terms of how much rain we are expecting to see, earlier in the day, Environment and Climate Change Canada estimating between 10 and 15 millimeters of rain. At this point, we're seeing by Friday about 9 millimeters or so for us here in Kitchener-Waterloo. A little bit more, though, estimated if you are in Goderich, 23 millimeters we are estimating there, and 10 if you are in Owen Sound, so a little bit further north. Temperature-wise, 8 degrees, so we're noticing it getting lower and lower. 10 degrees was our expected daytime high, and we did not hit that at this point, and I'm not sure we're going to as the evening continues, but it is 10 if you're in the city of Hamilton, 7 in London this hour. So definitely feeling more like fall out there. Overnight, 5 degrees is our expected low, and showers expected to stick with us. We could get a little bit of a break from those showers in the morning, but then that's when, after then, we could see conditions ramp up again. So tomorrow, 9 degrees is our expected daytime high, mainly cloudy once again, and at this point seeing about a 60% chance of showers. So in terms of our almanac, daytime highs and lows, we're sitting pretty close to seasonal for this time of year. Record high 25.6, that was on this day in 1947, and in 1923 on this day, our overnight record low was -6, so feeling more winter-like on this day back then. That sun now rising just shy of 7:45 in the morning and setting 6:28 p.m. is what we're seeing. And with all this cloud cover, not really getting at the best sunrise, maybe, or sunsets, but again, depending where you are, maybe you're lucky enough to enjoy some of those. So looking ahead to tomorrow, chance of showers, 60% as we noted, with a high of 9 degrees. 9 also expected for your Friday. We could see a little bit of that sunshine pop through. And then take a look at your weekend. Saturday, Sunday, mix of sun and cloud, and it looks like we're going to be in for some more sunshine.
October marks Menopause Awareness Month, so we're going to talk all about it with pharmacist and author Sherry Torkis. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's first start by talking about why is it really important to talk about menopause and raise awareness for women going through this?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. First and foremost, menopause is not a disease. This is a natural transition that women go through that years ago was more medicalized, and I think women were meant to feel ashamed, embarrassed. They were pushed all kinds of drugs, hormones, and antidepressants. In some cases, those things were not necessary at all. We now know a lot more about menopause, ways that we can manage the symptoms, and how we can empower women to feel their best during this time of life, so we don't have to dread menopause. I mean, the symptoms, depending depending on what you experience, hot flashes, mood swings, dryness, changes in mood, weight gain, sometimes that can be a bit daunting, but again, there are ways that we can manage those symptoms and thrive through menopause.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those ways today. We're going to start with diet.
That's right. Plant-based diet, a Mediterranean type diet, is actually one of the most beneficial forms of eating to follow when it comes to lowering the risk of heart disease, certain cancers, but also for easing menopause. So we're talking about adding healthy fats like avocado, broccoli, cruciferous vegetables that help to fight off certain types of cancer, antioxidant-rich vegetables and fruit, peppers and grapes, garlic, which is great for the heart, nuts, beans, and legumes. They contain a lot of soluble fiber, antioxidants, and fatty fish like salmon, green tea. All of these foods can be very beneficial in helping to support not only your health, but also to help ease some of the symptoms.
Okay, and this all looks delicious too.
It is good stuff. It is good stuff. And there's a lot of other side benefits with eating this way.
Okay, perfect. We also have some plant-based foods here as well.
That's right, some plant-based forms of estrogens. So the reason we hear a lot about tofu and edamame in terms of helping with menopausal symptoms is that these foods contain something called isoflavones, and these are plant-based compounds that mimic estrogen in the body, and they have been shown through a number of studies to help ease symptoms, and that is believed to be the reason why women in Japan and other areas of Asia that eat these foods regularly have less symptoms. So we can eat these foods, add them to our diet. We can also get isoflavones in supplement form, which for many women allows them to have that consistent, standardized amount. So one that's been clinically studied significantly is this Promensil, which contains red clover, and this has been shown to help with managing a range of symptoms, the hot flashes, mood swings, irritability, dryness. It's also beneficial for the heart and the bones. They have an extra strength formula, which often women can start with. There's a perimenopausal formula, and then these are new. These are the gummies. So for women that don't like to swallow tablets, they prefer a gummy. You can pick those up at Shoppers Drug Mart and other pharmacies. So that's a great way to get the benefits of those isoflavones.
Okay, great. I want to talk about sleep. How are women's sleep? How are they impacted by sleep when they're going through this?
Yeah, sleep can be really tricky. I think stress factors in there, but hormonal changes can make it difficult to get a good night's rest. So a few things that I would recommend. One is to take a technology break before bedtime. So staying away from your phone, putting it aside, doing things that are relaxing, reading a book, stretching, yoga. I love stretching with exercise tubing. That can be very helpful. There are specific supplements that you can take to help promote relaxation. This Relax spray contains passion flower, and this works to make you feel more calm and relaxed. Magnesium, also the Sweet Dreams supplement by Sisu is a good one. And these are non-addictive. They don't make you feel drowsy the next day. So if you need a little supplemental support, these are good options, non-drug options to help with sleep.
Okay. Also, the importance of exercise.
Super important. So studies have shown that women that exercise regularly go through menopause easier. They have less symptoms. Plus, we know that cardiovascular exercise is very important for heart health, and doing the weight-bearing exercise, so using the hand weights, the tubing, walking, anything that is putting weight on our skeleton, our bones, is important to support bone health and to fight off osteoporosis, which again, as women go through menopause, we do have an increased risk of osteoporosis, so keep those bones healthy with lots of weight-bearing exercise.
Well, it's all great advice and tips for women who are going through menopause. Sherry, thanks so much. It's great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
And here's what you need to know. Grab a friend, head over to the Canadian Clay and Glass Gallery in Waterloo on Friday for pottery, pints, and Prosecco. Enjoy a step-by-step lesson while enjoying your favorite refreshment. This week, spooky creations will be the focus, just in time for Halloween. Stay with us. Welcome back as we take a look at tonight's digital dive and a look at the haunted houses around Waterloo Region. There are so many spooky spots and so much effort put into decorating this year for Halloween. You can find an interactive map of all the decorated houses over on our website and find out how to submit yours as well. Just scan the QR code, download the CTV News app, or go to ctvnewskitchener.ca. final 5 stories we're following. A new study is shedding light on a major source of burnout for Canadian doctors, increasing amounts of paperwork. The study, shared by RBC, consulted about 500 physicians over the summer. 72% said non-clinical administrative work was a significant driver of workplace exhaustion. 77% said their administrative workload was reducing the time they can spend with patients. The research follows warnings from the Canadian Medical Association that 2/3 of doctors are spending more time on those tasks than they did 5 years ago, driving demand for innovation and streamlining of that paperwork. OpenAI is launching a web browser called Atlas to compete with Google Chrome. The ChatGPT maker is using its chatbot as a gateway to online searches, and that could allow OpenAI to pull in more internet traffic and revenue from digital marketing. The San Francisco-based company is already the world's most valuable startup, but it is losing more money than it makes, and it has been looking for ways to turn a profit. Keeping yourself and your business safe online is the focus of a summit that is happening in Toronto. The cybersecurity event is looking at the impact of AI on cyber threats and how Canadian companies can train their workforce to protect themselves. It's being hosted by a company called Fortinet, which provides cybersecurity for 31,000 businesses right across the country. A new family room has opened at Sick Kids Hospital in partnership with the Ronald McDonald House. The space includes sleeping pods where parents and children can rest during their stays at Sick Kids. There are also showers and a kitchen offering delicious meals. The room is designed to give families a sense of normalcy and relief during the challenging times they are facing. And finally for us, volunteers at a Cambridge church are working to solve a mystery. A woman called the Central Church earlier this month claiming she had a historic book that was theirs. The volunteers confirmed the handwritten document belonged to the church's first minister, Reverend James Dixon, and is from the 1800s. But they're left gathering clues because they have no information about the woman who brought them the treasure.
She showed up at the church and she handed over this amazing journal. All we know about her is that she lives somewhere 2 hours from Cambridge, we believe south of Cambridge, and she found it in a value village. She left without giving her name, so we would really like to reach out to her to thank her properly.
Coming up at 6, CTV's Karis Mapp has more about the journal and the church's plans for it in the future. Wow, what a cool story, and hopefully we'll be able to solve that mystery sometime soon. We will leave it there tonight. We're back at the top of the hour. Tony Grace has your next local news at 6. For now, we'll send it over to CTV National News. Have a great night, everyone.